Welcome back to Stacy on the Right on American Family Radio and Urban Family Talk.
Hey there. Welcome back to the program. Stacy Washington, Stacy on the Right. You can go to stacyontheright.com, at Stacy on the Right on Twitter and Instagram. And I am broadcasting live from Anaheim, California at National Religious Broadcasters Convention. And this convention floor is hopping. Let me just tell you, everybody's got their stuff together now. Yesterday, it was a war zone. Today, everything's pretty. And I have been having the best fun talking to wonderful guests, which our next guest fits right in with that. I'd like to welcome Dr. Larry Pillow from Ministries here to talk about what they're doing to battle this. It's like a new war that I don't think enough people are talking about, and that's the epidemic of Americans dying from drug overdoses and drug use. Dr. Pillow, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Stacy, for having us on. A lot of people are talking about the problem. We're talking more about the solution. We have a network of 10 transformation ministries. We call them transformation ministries as opposed to rehab or recovery.
Okay.
Because we believe that's what we're doing is through Christ helping them be transformed.
Okay.
So we have 10 facilities already, and we have about 200 beds for men and women combined. I just got word this morning that 2 more facilities are ready to be opened in Arkansas. And we have a dream, I have a dream, we have a dream to have 50 facilities in and around the state of Arkansas.
Just in Arkansas?
That's right.
Okay, and then after that, what happens, Dr. Pillow?
Well, after that, I thought, let me back up. I started Renewal Ranch in Arkansas in 2011.
Okay.
I thought, well, this is my life's work, and I got into it, and I loved it, and we were fruitful, and I thought, well, this is my last hurrah. Well, people started contacting me wanting to do this, so we started repeating the process. And next thing you know, literally, Stacy, I mean, I'm a worker and an activist, so I don't always keep up with everything that's happening. But next thing I know, I got 10 facilities, and I think, man, God's up to something here.
Yeah.
So I met William Owens. That was a
yes, he
guest
was on
of yours
first
earlier.
segment. Yes.
Yeah, what a guy.
Looks like you have the best friends.
Oh, what a guy. He is a terrific guy. And as you know, he's doing the Shift to Greatness bike ride from Anaheim to D.C. Well, he invited us to partner with him. And, it was an opportunity I couldn't turn down. So we're partnering with William. We don't know what the outcome's going to be, but I can tell you what God is speaking into my heart. Instead of 50 facilities in and around in Arkansas, I'm thinking now of 500 facilities across the country.
Oh, so amen. I'm with you on that. I'm in agreement with you on that. I love it when, the slogan is, I love it when a plan comes together, and then it's usually someone walking away with a cigar in their mouth and an explosion happening behind them. But instead of an explosion, it's almost as if you're having an explosion of a good idea that's helping Americans. And we need these centers across the country because a lot of the opioid epidemic surrounds people who they go to rehab, they are made well, they go home, and they relapse. They go to another rehab, they come home, they're made well, they relapse. And on the third try, they're made well and come home whole, and that relapse is the one where they usually overdose, and it's fatal. Right. And we've seen this happen in the St. Louis metro region. I've heard stories of families where we're talking about the 2-parent household, upper income, Christians, so the victims of this are spanning every socioeconomic group, every racial background, and specifically, it's people that you would think, that family would never have a problem with this. Actually, it can happen to any family. So healing and recovery should be able to happen to any family, and a center like the one you're talking about, opening up, say, in St. Louis, I'll go ahead and put that out there because we need it there. What we have is people traveling outside of the state of Missouri to get treatment. We need treatment centers in Missouri as well. And so you talked about Renewal Ranch, and this is a Christ-centered restoration ministry for addicts.
That's
so
right.
when people hear that, you're on Christian radio, you know how we Christians can sometimes get, Lord loves us, God bless us. But what are you talking about? What happens when someone comes to the Restoration Ranch?
We're talking about 6 months in phase 1 with over 500 hours of Bible classes. We're talking about 300 hours of community service. And we're talking about a place that is saturated with the love of Christ. Our volunteers, our teachers have a passion for the Lord. They have a passion for these men and the women and their families. And it's the love of Christ that compels us, and it's the love of Christ that changes them. I don't like to criticize other ministries or other programs. And
Feel free to say what you want. This is that kind of show.
I don't say this critically, but we are a one-step program. That's what we do. We are full, front and center, Jesus Christ. And the proof is in the pudding. We have conservatively a 50% success rate, more likely a 70% success rate.
Okay.
Not just one person, but every resident that accepts Christ, they will impact at least 5 members of family and friends. We were talking about earlier, 50 facilities, 20 residents, 10-year period, we impact 75 to 100,000 people. 500 facilities, 20 residents per facility, with the kind of success we have now. This is not wishful thinking. What we're doing now, if that success rate continues, in 10 years we impact 750,000 to 1 million people.
Wow.
If somebody like me would do what I'm doing in Arkansas, in every state in the union, we can change the drug culture, we can change the church culture, we can change the legal culture. And when I say somebody like me, I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm a worn out, almost used up, used to be pastor that got into this. I'm also the son of an alcoholic and the father of a drug addict who died from an overdose. So my dream, my passion is simple. I have a one-sentence dream. I want to provide every parent an opportunity to have sober children and every children an opportunity to have sober parents. And we need your listeners to contact your radio station and then contact us at wecanmen.org, or my email address is there. We need their help.
Okay, let me give them that again, because when on radio you have to give it 3 times because people are driving,
Yeah.
Kids are talking while they're listening, and I love that because I love that kids get to listen to the show, but I want to give you that one more time. It's We Can Men, WECANMIN, which is short for Ministries, so wecanmen.org. You can call or text 501-472-3114, 501-472-3114, or email freshstart@conwaycorp.net. That's freshstart@conwaycorp.net. And what I'll do is I will put all of this on the Facebook page so you guys can access it at any time. If you're listening to this later on tonight at the podcast, you'll totally be able to still get this information. It'll be up on Facebook. And let me look at the time. Oh, we still have more time. So I was wanting, because I totally cut you off there, and I'm sorry, Dr. Pillow, but this is live radio, and I have to get all the stuff in. So I wanted to hear, I'm going to ask you to give us some statistics that you have on the pamphlet that you've given to me. And then I was hoping you could share maybe one of the success stories with us so that the listeners can kind of get a flavor for that too.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Okay.
The hardest part is to choose. And before I do that, let me say hello to my friends in Arkansas. I told everybody in Arkansas, hey, I'm going to be live on American Family Radio.
You're on AFR, which is huge. I hope people understand. It's huge. So hello to everyone in Arkansas who's friends with Dr. Pillow. We love you guys, and we hope you know how much you're just valued here at American Family Radio.
Statistically, Renewal Ranch, which I'm most familiar with, I started it, worked out there 8 years, left it a couple of years ago to do what I'm doing now, but probably conservatively in the 8 years, 300 men whose lives are turned around, 300 men saved and baptized, 300 men whose mothers and grandmothers and spouses and kinfolks, many of them get revived. Their churches get revived. That's what Christianity is all about, life.
It is.
And so when life comes to them, we succeed. I've got one of the women here this morning from one of our facilities, and can I use her?
Yes.
As a
you
live
can.
testimony.
So it's Lexi Holcomb, and she's sitting right over here. She's looking so cute with her badge on, and she's sitting, and she's also doing like some kind of video. I'm hoping everything looks cute. So she's right here with us.
Yes.
You tell us Lexi's story.
Lexi came to the harbor a couple of years ago or so. Yes, and She was a really good student. I taught her class. She would help me out. In fact, so much so that I wonder if she's really for real, because, addicts are cons. Oh. But she stayed with it. Her life got transformed. She kept following Christ. Now she's one of our premier spokespersons. But she can tell you her story, sort of before and after. So, Lexi, come on over here and share with us.
Just move this microphone right over here.
Reintroduce yourself.
Just speak into that.
Hi, yes. So, my name is Lexi Holcomb, and I'm 24 years old, and I've radically found the Lord in the back of a tiny church in one of these programs, Halloween of 2016. So, basically, when I was 16, my family and I, we just basically broke. We lost my dad to melanoma skin cancer, and at that point, everything just sort of turned upside down. And I guess you could say that I started acting out of my brokenness in a sense, and just started experimenting, sitting in school assemblies at school and during Red Ribbon Week and hearing about drug addicts, and then basically a couple years later going home and becoming one. And I just never thought that it could really ever hit me. I sort of thought that I was above that in a sense. And then I was introduced to Roxy's and oxycodone and Xanax, and everything changed at that point. I thought that I'd found a solution when really I was introduced to a monster, and it was at that point that when I thought that things couldn't break anymore, they did, and ended up losing everything that I'd ever worked so hard for. The sleepless nights in school and the hard practices and everything of that sort to make my dad proud. And it was just through that so-called partying that my life was destroyed. And we know that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And I believe that I was also a very anxious and insecure person, and I was prescribed different benzos from the doctor due to my depression and anxiety, but it eventually led to a prescription pill addiction. But I tried rehab after rehab. I was in and out of jail. I was looking at felony charges sitting in prison, and my mom found out about a place called the Harbor Home, which was a ministry that Dr. Pillow had helped start in Conway, Arkansas. And I went into this tiny church and encountered the living God in a powerful way that has marked my life forever. And just sort of still thrilled and on a mountaintop ever since then. So
I hope I hope I'm describing this correctly, but this woman is just singing with your face is alive, and you're just radiating the power of Jesus Christ's transformational qualities on you. When you talk about it, you just light up. And I want people to understand, so this is what we're here for. American Family Radio exists to really promote and strengthen the family with biblical worldview and biblical values. But some of the things that we do here, obviously, we talked about politics and we talk about culture and marriage and everything like that. But one of the things that we're really wanting to be found doing when Christ returns is working in the ministry field, which means supporting organizations like yours. So I'm so excited that we kind of bumped into each other. We were leaving yesterday after the broadcast, and Dr. Pillow was like, "Hey, I saw you broadcasting something over there. Was that your show?" I was like, "Yeah, you can come on." So I didn't really know everything that it was about, but they all had on their cool shirts yesterday, their We Can shirts. Now, we're getting close to the end of this segment, so I want to give you guys some information. The website that you can go to get the information about what they're doing is, you can go to wecanmin.org, WECANMIN.org. You can call or text 501-472-3114, 501-472-3114, or email freshstart@conwaycorp.net, freshstart@conwaycorp.net. Now, I also want to give you, earlier we talked to William about shifttogreatness.org. You can go there. And you can find all of this. I'll have it up on the Facebook page, and I'll put a little image on Instagram as well, so you guys can find it there. And Dr. Pillow, I invite you, let's keep in touch. You can give us updates on our new quest, which is we want centers like this one in every state in America. And so people out there who are thinking, I'm going into my retirement years, what shall I do with myself? As much as I love the beach, and y'all know I love it, you're not supposed to be there 365 days a year. You go there a couple weeks a year, get your time off, but the rest of the year you could be, as a retiree, maybe opening up one of these centers. We're talking about 20 people, lives changed, exponential impact, radiating out from that.
Right.
You can do it. As someone who's listening right now, you were just wondering what you're going to do with yourself, Dr. Pillow just told you what you can do. I mean, are you going to argue with me? No, you won't argue with me. I know that. So I've given you the info, and I wanted to say thank you again Dr. Pillow, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for telling us your
pleasure.
story, Lexi. And we will speak again on traditional radio when we're back in our studio in St. Louis and when you're back in Arkansas.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Look
amen
forward
to
it.
that.
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you for coming on today. Thank you both.
Yeah.
All right, that's hour one. We are going to be having so much more fun here at NRB. If you're leaving us now, then God bless you adios from the heartland. And if you're sticking around, you have news and information coming to you in just a couple of minutes from onenewsnow.com. And I have the really bad sound. I'm not sure if I can't hear the music. Am I up against the break or no? Oh, 30 seconds. Okay, I hear it. I hear the music. All right, so we'll be back with more Stacy on the Right. And God bless if you're leaving us now.